welcome back to Let's Play The Evil Within with me, Jimenez, and we have just stuck this battery into this generator, and things have gotten a little crazy in here, so why don't we get to exploring now that we've powered everything on. Now, if I remember right, yep, we're gonna get aggroed on immediately. And we're gonna try to deal with that with the pistol because I want to save some of my better ammo. Because we have some very, very challenging stuff coming pretty soon here. But we are gonna want to thoroughly explore this place before we leave. Alright, let me just figure out what I'm doing here. Oh god. That scared me a little bit, but we're alright. Man, 2 bullets to take out a fatty. That was awesome. Oh, right. Alright, I need some more heavy-duty weaponry. Still not down. All right, he got me with the hook arm. Can I win this fight? Let's get him with a harpoon. All right. Down goes the trauma. That definitely was closer than I would have liked. I kind of forgot he was there, and I think I wasted a little bit more resources than I would ordinarily want to, but I think it's going to be just fine. Now let's make sure that we've got the proper amount of bolts. Yeah, we can make those, and then let's make some explosive bolts. We have plenty of trap parts, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. But we are going to need our trap parts. Quite a bit, in fact. Now that's going to pop out like that. But we need to get kind of around behind it, because there's going to be a goddess statue right there. And then there's only one more key in this level, and that is the key that I kind of backed myself into a corner saying that I would get all of the keys. Because it means we have to do something kind of outrageously difficult in order to get it. But we are going to get it. I said I would do it, and that's what we're going to do. Let's just make sure we're reloaded up. Now this whole room is going to expand with the, I don't even know what I would call them, I guess like pushy-outy things? Human compactors, maybe? And there's gonna be a couple of things we want in here. And then we need to take this ladder up. Oy, I wish I hadn't made so many explosive bolts, but I can carry that one, so it's all good. All right. Just make sure I haven't missed anything in here. Okay.
this place.
I love the scraping noise of the trauma. Just sort of letting you know they're in the area, but you don't know where they are. And then I want to make sure I grab this map fragment over here. That's number 19. So there's just one key and one map fragment left. And where have we ended up? Back in the same maze. But we shouldn't have too much between us and getting out of here. Yep, definitely don't want to miss those. 67 trap parts is pretty good. And here comes the trauma. 2 of them, even. But with any luck... Okay, let's take the opportunity to make some more explosive bolts. I think that one's down. Alright. So just one more. Unless they both died. Oh, that's fantastic. Alright. Those guys aren't too difficult, but if you... It definitely drives home the point that the explosive bolt is very dangerous to you as well. It has a lot of little, kind of quirks to it where it takes a minute for the bomb to detonate, and it also can get stuck to them and they can charge you and have it explode right in your face, so it can be a little bit hard to use. But I think it's the best weapon to use against them, although maybe I should have just done flaming harpoon bolts. Yeah, there are even some free ones in here. Okay, I definitely should have, but I don't think it's going to end up mattering too much. Now, let's see if I can carry one of those. I can't. Oh, that's a shame. But we are pretty loaded up with bullets. And if you're thinking we're finding a lot of ammo drops, maybe that should be a concern. It absolutely is. I'm just going to watch my back here, but this would be a very tense area if you chose to run away from the traumas. But I like to fight them. I think they're a really cool design. I believe they're influenced at the very least by the Hookman enemy from Resident Evil 4's sort of beta. There's that, and then they are also supposed to be just manifestations of Ruvik's hatred of religion because of his religious upbringing, which is why they have this sort of cross on their backs. I don't know if you could see that while I was sort of running around panicking. But the way that this area unfolds after you pull that, flip the thing in the generator, it feels like an entirely new area. Like, the way you get back out is really confusing, and you're almost surprised to be back here where we were trying to go in the first place. Well, let's go ahead and continue on. Oh, man. This is so sweet. And that's another look at Amalgam, but we're not going to meet him just yet. Not just yet, but he is coming, and he is one of my favorites. And you see that? that should tell you what we're in for up here, and I'll talk about it a little bit once we get into it, I suppose. All right, so over this way is going to be the tape that I want to listen to, so let's go ahead and give that a listen.
Everything I have, everything I am, has been taken from me since the accident by those who seek to consume me. They are in the darkness, with only the phantoms of my mind to comfort me, to taunt me. I nearly lost myself completely. But then I saw her. Deep down I know she was only an apparition. But I would regain my face. Recover what was taken from me. Restore her, my beloved sister, Laura.
And so if it's not clear by this point, sort of what Ruben/Ruvik was doing when it came to creating STEM was trying to create a world where his sister was still alive after those villagers burned down the barn with them inside it. So, once again, I don't really feel sorry for him. He is a psychopathic killer, but that incident really broke him, and everything he's doing comes from a place of really just wanting to put his life back the way it was, although he went about it in some supremely psychotic ways. So let's check out this document. Journal of Sebastian Castellanos, February 27th, 2012. I've watched friends and colleagues die before, part of the job that I've taken, and it's never easy, but nothing can compare to losing your own child. I'd die 1,000,000 times over to prevent it, but I can't. I felt so helpless when they lowered that tiny coffin into the ground. The pain is unbearable. I know I shouldn't, but drinking is the only thing that's let me sleep for the last few weeks. I'm worried about Myra. This has been extremely hard on her, and her way of handling it has been unnerving. She wants to be alone and has taken to staying up all night. Says she's doing work to keep her mind off of the tragedy, but she seems to be closing herself off to the world. I know what tends to happen when couples lose a child, and I hope that we're strong enough to avoid it. And I think that that's a very realistic portrayal of what something like that might do to a couple.
Have you forgotten something?
It would be insanely difficult. Home destroyed by fire. Daughter of police officer among victims. The bodies of Lily Castellanos, 5, and babysitter Juanita Flores, 56, were found in the charred home. Both of the child's parents are police officers with the Crimson City Police Department and were on duty at the time of the fire. Police are investigating as a possible arson. And that is how Sebastian lost his child. Missing Patrick Higgins, lawyer for the Victoriano family, last seen meeting with a man believed to be a client. All right, so we've got a bunch of keys. Oh, Tatiana, are you okay? That sucks. Sorry, Tots. But why don't we go ahead and use our locker keys? That's always my favorite thing to do. And let's see what we can find. More green gel. You gotta love that. That's really all I want from here. That one was 15,000. Wow. Another one. That one's only 5. Okay. Average of 10. We're still doing okay. And extra harpoon bolts. Can't take those with us, but we do have a ton of green gel now, so why don't we go ahead and use that? Can I use this door yet? Thanks, game. I appreciate that. And what do I want? I would like to finish up sprint time, but it's very expensive. Bumps it up to 10 seconds, though. Let's just do it. And then we've got 10,000 left. The damage on my pistol seemed pretty good when I was using it just now. We could bump up sniper rifle damage, but it is really situational. I almost regret a little bit bumping that critical up to 100%. It just seemed so tempting to do, I couldn't resist. But it's hard to use in close quarters, so you tend to not use it, especially when you get in trouble. That being said, it does do a lot of damage, but I think... Yeah, you know what? Since I can't do damage on the shotgun, but maybe I want a little bit more fire rate, but a tenth of a second is not very much. Like, it never even drops it. It drops it if you max this by a half a second. Let's just bump the critical, I suppose. And sure, we'll take some fire rate. Reload time. And then I got 1900. Maybe there's something I can do. Sure, let's bump up the fire rate on the pistol. And that's all we got for now. The main thing we're concerned with is our crossbow bolts. We are going to need these desperately. All right, so let's get to it. I have been basically dreading this encounter since I started this playthrough, or at the very least since around, I would say, chapter 3 or 4, I realized what I was going to have to do to actually get all of the goddess statues, so here we go. Yep, there she is, my best friend. Okay. She's not gonna bother us for right now, but believe me, she will be bothering us. Now, what I've been sort of avoiding saying is that you have a couple of options in this section coming up. You can choose to run away, but if you do that, a key becomes inaccessible to you. So what we're going to have to do is kill Laura in this section, and she is not going to make that easy. If you don't remember, if Laura touches you, you pretty much die instantly. Now, I'm wondering if we can get a look at the loot I'm gonna get. Somewhere over here? I'm not remembering exactly. Maybe it's right over there. Perhaps not, but we've got to pull this lever and kick this thing off, so why don't we just give it a try? And she's gonna get out, but she won't be able to get me before I can crawl through this. You are fairly safe here from just getting grabbed and getting killed, because it would be a little unfair if she could just get you immediately. I am glad I've got that extra sprint time. Oh, that is a shame. Can I possibly get out of this situation? Nope. All right, let's try it again. And we'll do the same thing, crouch underneath these and run down the hallway, but let's try and get it right this time. I want to get all the way down to the end here because I want that green gel, but maybe I can get back past this guy. Nope. And now, I don't remember... Oh, no. This is not where I wanted to go at all. Can I get out of here? Oh, wow. Come on, come on. This way, this way. Okay. Whew. And somehow we managed to escape. However, we are not done. Not by a long shot. And this fight, it's one of those things where it's not quote-unquote difficult, it's just extra punishing, if that makes sense. Oh, man. I'm really not looking forward to this. But I'll explain what we have to do as we go through it. So here is the hall that we can get if we kill Laura, including the goddess statue right there. If you don't kill her, you end up in a cutscene and you take the elevator down and you just miss it. There's no going back. So we're going to kill her here. And so this first part is to show you that by turning these cranks, you turn off the flames, and the flames turn off crazy slow. Look at it. And so what we've got to do is we're going to end up in a series of chambers with these things on the ceiling. We've got to shoot those down while avoiding Laura, and then in the final section, we have to kill her while avoiding her, and it's kind of a nightmare. But the point is that if you fail at any point and Laura grabs you and you instantaneously die, as you usually do in this game, you start from much earlier in the fight. Like, you have to do a significant portion of it over again. And you can't kill her early or anything. You have to kill her in the final section, or she's going to respawn there for you anyway. So this is the first area we want to get to. Now, I would very much like to hit her with this trap over here. The more traps you hit her with... Is she coming? There she goes. The more traps you hit her with on the way, the less health she's going to have at the end. And believe me, she has a lot, so it is definitely worth doing. I don't know which way she's going to come, so I'm just going to run for it out this way. And so you've got to kind of kite her, but in order to shoot these levers, you have to take your eye off Laura. And she really likes to not cooperate. Yep, she's going to come around that way instead. So here's what we're going to do. I almost got grabbed there, just switching weapons. I'm going to try to get her with a shock bolt underneath the fire. Oh, no time. Yeah, she loves to just not cooperate. Okay. I really wanted to get that done. All right, let's move on to the next section. I love the shadow. You can see her. Oh, it's so good. So you want to run as fast as you can over here and get some serious distance. And that will give you time to pull this lever. This area is very tight. You are in here very tight with her. And I'm hoping I can get her around here. And next it's gonna be firebolt time. And it's up on the ceiling. Little hard to spot, but once you know it's there, it's not that big of a deal. That's just one of those gotchas where you're like, where is the lever? And if you don't already know where it is, you will probably end up dead in there. So there she is there. We can use this bomb. You don't have a ton of time to disarm those, as much as I hate wasting one of those. This area is not bad at all. Because you have this convenient center section to kind of keep her off of you. Yep, and I was too late with the match and we died. So I'll see you right back here. What? That's a new pattern. Alright, come over here, please. I'm not even sure what attempt we're on anymore. All I know is that I've been here a while, and I find this section difficult, so feel free to make fun of me if you like. Oh, that was so lucky. Alright, so we want to start here. And then over here. Wait for the squishy noise and strike your match. And then there's going to be one last one back here. Squishy sound, strike it. And now it's time to run around in circles for just ever and hope that she dies eventually. One of the frustrating things about this for me is that it's really not clear that you're accomplishing anything when you're doing this. Like, the hit sort of feedback doesn't really seem like much is happening. Alright, we're piling on some damage right now. Oh, she teleported right out of the way of that one. I'm getting faster with the weapon switches, so that feels kind of good. Alright, let's take this opportunity to get reloaded. This next hit with this, I'm gonna go ahead and reload all my guns, and hopefully that ends up working out. Come on! Alright, that's all my shotgun shells. Let's get the rifle reloaded. And let's make some parts. Or some bolts, I should say. There it is. Oh, man. She has, like, a gigantic Dark Souls-sized life bar. It's nuts. Okay, well, let's make sure we take all the ammunition we can find in here with us, because we basically dumped all of it into Laura, but we finally won. And we're going to get that final locker key. which is extremely exciting. I am very happy with that. Honestly, it didn't take me that many attempts, but it did take a fair bit of trial and error, kind of remembering my Laura fight skills. It's one of those things where once you're working on it for a while, you start to develop this sort of rhythm with it, but when you come into it a little bit cold and unpracticed like I did, you're gonna have a little bit of trouble for a little while you kind of get used to dealing with her. Now, where's that lever? What am I missing here? Why is it locked behind fire? Ah, there we go. Now, there were a few spare fire traps that I could have used on her, but honestly, it can be such a run killer to be in this corner and try to shoot this one to get the flame to come down. You gotta use a shock bolt, I would say, if you really want it to work. And, you know, you can hit her with this one as well. But I like to just get to the main loop because that's the part that takes the longest and that I'm the most worried about failing during. But at the end of the day, we succeeded, and I'm very, very happy with that. Now let's go get our reward, which is going to refund us a ton of bullets and all kinds of stuff. So that is just fantastic. All right, let's get out of here.
Who do you think you are? I know who you are. Seb. I know what you crave, what you fear. Will you be able to live with yourself knowing what I'm gonna make you do? Poor little Joseph couldn't. Too bad they dragged you into this. But either way, you're mine. To do with as I please.
What a distressing villain he is. And I think the burn marks, it's really cool that they have a backstory, because you might make a villain like that just be grotesque just because, but he's this person that wears these scars of the terrible things that have happened to him and the terrible person, or I guess I should say being, that he's become. And it all just makes a ton of sense narratively, and I really like it. He has this sort of menacing calmness to his voice. Oh, man.
Shit, back here again.
And where is the elevator taking us? That's right, back to the mansion. But before we head forward, we do want to grab this map fragment, and now we've gotten all the keys and all the map fragments in this level. And honestly, despite the fact that I used a ton of ammunition, we're doing pretty well on bullets. They definitely refund you quite a few for attempting that. Oh, man. It's so weird to be back here. It feels like 1,000 years ago after that fight. And I just want to make sure I don't run right past anything. I so often get focused on just heading forward that I sometimes miss little things. What is this sound?
Doc, what the hell do you think you're doing?
Trying to save us.
Really? Because it looks like you're making another monster to me.
I don't have time for this, Detective.
Neither do I.
Leslie has been here before, and made it back. He survived being linked to Ruvik, the only patient ever as far as I know.
Wonderful. What does that have to do with any of this?
He's our way out, Detective. Our only way back.
That sound!
No, it's working. Oh, thank God it's working.
Leslie, are you all right?
It should have. Why didn't it? That's it. That's why.
Doctor, run!
He wants the same thing as us. He wants out!
And I hope you weren't thinking the chapter was going to be over there, because it absolutely is not. That's right. After defeating Laura, you're still not done with this chapter. You still have another boss fight after that.
Hey! I know you're out there. Listen to me, goddammit.
Let's listen to what he has to say.
Ruvik must be really pissed now. Breaking a STEM terminal? Never thought he'd go that far.
Wait, STEM?
Oh, he must be close if he's severing ties with the past. All he has left is his connection to the present. The full STEM in the hospital.
Hospital? Beacon Mental Hospital?
That's where he'll be. Waiting for him. If somebody doesn't get there first, there'll be no way out for anyone.
I wonder if that somebody is me.
You have an odor of blood about you.
Yes, that's right. We do need to get there first. Let's go ahead and check the newsstand. Irregularities at hospital. Investigation uncovers irregularities at mental hospital. Situation more complex than thought. Internal audit at Beacon Mental Hospital suggests patients missing. Chief of Staff Marcelo Jimenez cites clerical errors. Do we believe him? Absolutely not. And the doctor is dead, and now we find his missing persons poster. Missing Dr. Marcelo Jimenez, Chief of Staff of Beacon Mental Hospital, last seen in his office where he made a number of telephone calls. Now, we do have one more locker key, so we may as well use it. And let's see what I can grab in here. I guess I may as well heal up. Ooh, lots of rifle ammo. That's going to be great. Oh man, 15,000 green gel? I love that. It's so good. You know what? I think one of my deaths popped me before safe haven, because there's no way I should have had 3 keys there. So I wonder if that means some of my upgrades are gone. That's one of those things that it's really frustrating, where you're like, now I don't even remember what I had upgraded or what I was doing, but we'll go ahead and use it now. Let's see. Yep, sprint time is below level 5. Okay, well, let's do it again. And we'll go ahead and throw more damage on the shotgun. Actually, I kind of want damage for the sniper rifle for this next section, so I guess I may as well get it. And we could probably pump up some stock here. There's really nothing else I even want, so I guess we may as well just, like, max out Shock Bolt. Why not? And then we can just do some cheapies. Let's do critical. That works for me. And now, why don't we go ahead and get to that boss fight? It's gonna be something. I could have taken more sniper rifle ammo with me, but it's gonna be fine. And that's what we're going to be fighting. That is Amalgam, and he is by far my favorite creature design in this. Oh, I think he just looks so fantastic. Ooh, don't want to miss those. 3 trap parts? We didn't even actually spend that many just due to the harpoon bolts being so cheap. And he's just going to give us a little bit of a fright there, but he's going to move on for now. But they're really letting the tension build for you. All right, here it comes. Now, the only tough part about this fight, realistically, is the final form of Amalgam.
God damn it.
Yep, we gotta run for it. So the final form is going to ask you to hit a very difficult sniper shot. And if you miss, you get grabbed, and there's basically nothing you can do about it. Now we're going to run over here, and there's a very specific technique you need to do in here. He's going to come in here and try and grab around inside. And as soon as he backs off, we got to run for it. Because if we don't do that, he's going to get us, and it's going to be bad. So there it is. Now we've got to hit this sniper shot or we'll die. Nope, I got hit in the face with a car instead. Now if I run in here, I believe I can survive for a little bit longer. Nope, I didn't get out in time, so I'm gonna get thrown around a little bit, but I won't die yet. So there it is, I gotta hit that. And he chucked the car at me again. And I'm dead. Alright, so the first thing I've got to do is hit the sniper shot on this eyeball, run around to the side and snipe both heads. And hopefully the top one too. And now I gotta kind of run out of the way. And from here on out, it's not so bad. It's just a matter of hitting that final sniper shot. It's just such a nightmare. I honestly feel like most of the time when I hit it, I'm just lucky. Now, I think he's about to change here, which will give us a chance to take the sniper shot again, so let's see if we can hit it this time. I would really like to succeed. Oh, I think that was it! Bam! Oh, we finally did it. Oh, man. Hitting that final sniper shot is so difficult. And just like that, the elevator opens and we can just get out of here. So nice. Now, there's a lot of stuff to pick up in here, so we're going to make sure we really thoroughly loot before we leave. But we are doing fairly well on bullets, so I'm not super worried about any of that. But it's always good to pick up all this stuff. And it's funny, too, because... So, obviously that take was the good one. The one where everything worked out. And when everything works out, it doesn't look hard at all. You know, you're like, okay, well, that's all there is to it. How hard could it be? But the answer is, this took me a huge number of tries just because Amalgam is very good at... I feel like it almost kind of feints that it's going to open the eye, and you stop and take a look down your scope, and then but by the time you realize he's not going to do it, he's already on top of you, and the penalty for that is instant death, as usual with this game. All right, we have more bullets than we even know what to do with. So, I think it's time to get out of here with both of those boss fights down. Oh, man. What a relief. This chapter is, in my opinion, the most difficult in the game. There's going to be one or two more difficult boss fights and sections coming up, but nothing is as brutally just back to back to back as this chapter. At the very least, to me, it's definitely the one I struggle with the most, but it's all over now. Let's get out of here. Oh, Chapter 10 is done, and look at that monster. I love him so much. Amalgam, you are just my favorite, despite the fact that you asked me to make a ridiculous sniper shot or just die instantly. I'm very, very glad this is over. We can get back to having a lot more fun from here on out. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.